with me this time on Cinema Showcase is Mr. Robert Zemeckis, who is the director of Back to the Future 2. You know, this is an unusual film because this is a case where the sequel is just as good, if not better, than the original. How did you go right when so many others have gone wrong?
Well, I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. I guess it's in that we didn't, when I say we, I mean Bob Gale, the screenwriter, and myself, we didn't try to necessarily duplicate the first movie, although we wanted to bring back a lot of the elements that the original fans of the first movie enjoyed, same cast and obviously the time machine. But we decided that we weren't going to try and copy the first film, but take it just hopefully another step and continue where the first movie was left off and press the sequel form as much as we could and be bold with it.
Films about the future, which you show a little bit of here, are usually very dark, very negative, like 1984, and your future is pretty happy.
Well, it was, you know, I mean, there's no reason why. I mean, yeah, in studying films about the future, films that predict the future, what I realized is that it's much easier to make the future dark. And when you make the future positive, then that opens up a whole lot of questions. So it's easy to make the film dark and Orwellian, where everyone's got their head shaved and walking around in drab uniforms. For some reason, you accept that. But to do it where you really try to imagine what pop culture will be like in the future was tricky.
It was, but you were pretty neat with it. Why do you think people are so fascinated by time travel?
Well, I think it's just an interesting. I think it's just a universal fantasy to be able to either go to the future and get information that you don't know, or go to the past and witness something that you have heard about. I think it's just a wonderful, fascinating idea.
Which period would you like to visit?
Definitely the past. I would like to go. I'd much prefer to go if I could get back. I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to. I mean, the only condition on time travel is to be able to leave.
But have you picked your period?
Oh, the period? No, I think I would rather go to the more recent past than the distant past.
Okay. Now,
some place where you can drink the water.
Everybody knows that the film industry is a very conservative business, but it seems like all of your movies, they have been very bold, they have been very innovative. I Want to Hold Your Hand was one of my favorites. That was also your first one, which sort of set the tone. How did you know these would be so successful? Was it luck, or were you insightful?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think that you know, I've tried to make the best movies I know how to make, and I really don't believe that I have any sort of magic formula or I mean, I really think that, you know, you mentioned I Want to Hold Your Hand. That was a, you know, major bomb. You know, I mean, no one went to see it, but I thought it was a good film.
But those who saw it liked it very much.
Oh yeah, no. See, and that's the thing about show business or Hollywood. A film's popularity doesn't necessarily mean it's a good or bad film. See, sometimes you can make a good film and no one will go see it. It's just the way it is. It's show business. So that's all I try to do.
All right. Well, now many of your movies have made a lot of money. The first, Back to the Future, made I think $350 million. Roger Rabbit. Which of those two surprised you the most that they made so well?
They both did, but Back to the Future was really a phenomenal surprise. I mean, we had no idea that it was going to be as popular as it was. Roger Rabbit had, you know, it had a lot going for it in its, you know, it had something you'd never seen before. It had like an oh wow kind of a thing about it. But Back to the Future was just this very little movie. I mean, everyone thinks it's a lavish special effects movie, but in fact there were very few special effects in it. And the fact that that movie took off the way it did was really a surprise.
Now you have number 3 coming out very soon too. Are you still working on that one?
Yeah, we've got about another 5 weeks of shooting.
Will there be a 4, 5, 6?
No, there'll only be 3. It's we're going to do this as a complete trilogy, and that'll be the end of it.
Do you think it might have a life on television, though?
Oh, it could. You mean as a series?
Yes, why not?
Well, I think that...
Go to a new period each week?
Yeah, I think you could. I mean, I think that one of the things that the concept of a time travel series has been done many times, and I think that the thing about the Back to the Future, I mean, I don't say series, I'll say trilogy, is that you do have these characters that you follow, and
the actors
unless
to the
Chris
women.
Lloyd and Michael Fox would agree to do a series, I don't think it would be very successful.
Robert Zemeckis, thank you so much
Thank you
for your
very
time
much.
today.